Hey everybody, it's Atheist for the Cause here with another video for you. And I really wasn't planning on doing this one tonight, but I came across some information that's pretty big deal just coming out, and it's titled Patriot Tony Foreman Medical Fund. As it says, the goal of the bounty. On Saturday, June 17th, 2017, Baked Alaska's bodyguard, oathkeeper, and proud pro-Trump patriot Antonio Tony Foreman was almost stabbed to death by two Armenians who called him a cracker. The last thing Tony heard before he blacked out was, "You're getting the shank, white boy." So this is this guy here. You can see his injuries there, how big that bandage is. He is Baked Alaska's bodyguard, and if to show you who Baked Alaska is, if you don't know him, because you probably know his face, that's Baked Alaska. He used to work for BuzzFeed, and he's a pro-Trump activist. I'm not sure if he's alt-right or not. Doesn't really matter. I know there's been a lot of misinformation about him, so I don't want to call him alt-right if he doesn't self-identify as one. So, but he does definitely fall on the right. And basically they go around to lots of events, and they're constantly, being activists and trying to bring protests and stuff to the people directly via Periscope and things like that. So, yeah, this is really interesting and will rock the online community a bit. It says Tony was stabbed a total of 9 times. Tony had just left a bar in Santa Monica where he was celebrating a day of successful pro-Trump activism in LA with Kyle Bastickman Chapman. The police detective in charge of the case believes that the attack was racially motivated. Foreman's 2 attackers were arrested, but Foreman may need more surgery. He already had a 12-hour intensive operation as well as rehabilitation. Foreman does not have medical insurance. One on the racially motivated attack, it did say that there were $1 million bonds for the 2 attackers, and so at least that, at least they'll be held, and there will be hopefully some justice coming. But it seems like a pretty open and shut case, but we'll have to see how things progress. Everybody deserves their due process and fair trial. But one thing is, if you're going to be a bodyguard and you're going to do a lot of this activism, which can get dangerous, you got to find a way to get insurance. That's all there is to it. I mean, you more than the average person needs insurance because you're putting yourself in purposefully high-risk situations to make a political point. And that's admirable, but at least have some insurance, man. Tony is a victim of a vicious anti-white hate crime that almost became an anti-white murder. Let's help him get back on his feet, literally. Why? Anti-Trump and anti-white violence is escalating in the U.S. of America, from eggs to fists to, I don't know if you're from eggs, is where there was a girl in a Trump jersey that was like red, white, and blue, and she was locked out of Trump Tower because they like shut and locked the doors, because there was a mob outside, and they just started throwing eggs at her and getting really aggressive. It got so bad that they unlocked the doors and brought her in because it was so dangerous. There was no way she could get out because they had completely trapped her. Two Fists, which is like, a lot of your Antifa and just like protests in general. 2 Bike Locks, which is where the professor, was it San Diego State? A professor at some university, who was a part of Antifa, put a bike lock in a sock and swung it at a guy and hit him in the top of the head, causing massive bleeding. And now knives. which is they're referencing this situation. Everyday Trump supporters seem to be in real danger in their own country. I would say that that is actually real. Like the danger has been shown to be serious over and over with all these protests. You know, look at Trump on the campaign trail. Look at the assassination attempts on Trump. Like, it is actually dangerous to go around wearing Trump gear. Now, I do it myself. I wear my Make America Great Again hat. I have 2 of them. I wear, I've got like 4 or 5 t-shirts. One says like Despicable Me on it, or Deplorable Me, or it's the Despicable Me character, and it says Deplorable Me. And then one's like the inaugural t-shirt, and then I have a sweatshirt that says Trump and Pence 2016 on it. And I just have a bunch of different gear. I have some sunglasses with Trump's hair. So I have all kinds of gear that I wear on a regular basis. But when I have that stuff on, I do keep a swivel on my head, and I don't let anybody get too close to me, because you never know who's gonna go crazy on you. And I've never been put in real like danger like this guy did, but I've faced definitely some discrimination, where I would go in to get something to eat, and like there was one time I was at a Burger King, and the people, this was before the election, people at the counter, they would like or behind the counter, you know, they were getting the food, they would start laughing at me. And it was pretty obvious that they would like look right at me and then start laughing, and sometimes you can overhear them talking. And they would like pass my food to each other, and they wouldn't like give me the tray, so my food was getting cold as they were passing the tray around, because nobody wanted to give me the food because I'm wearing like a Make America Great Again hat. And it's, you know, there are people who are willing to get physical and stuff. I'm in a pretty safe area, so I don't have to worry about it quite as much, although I do still keep my eye open. But you know, in these, you know, in places like LA and stuff, there are a lot of people who are who don't care, and they're willing to kill someone over something like this. And you have to, you know, worry it. Now they're saying, I did read that the police don't think, if you click on these links, in one of the articles it says police don't think it's politically motivated, but they do think it's racially motivated. So we'll see. Interesting thing is, Armenians are typically white, so it would be a white on white hate crime. But if you want to send information or money to him for his costs, he's got a $125,000 bill they're expecting, and that there's some other costs wrapped up in there too. It's not just the one surgery. He might need another surgery and some other stuff. So they only have $3,500 right now. Every little bit helps, so hopefully people can get on board and give some money. You know, they're doing this for a full year, so I think eventually they can reach the goal. And if everybody just helps, even like, you know, $10 or something, it all adds up. 100 people give $10, that's $1,000. That's quite a bit of money. So and hopefully, you know, he can sue these people and get money that way. But maybe they don't have anything to sue for, you know. But this is definitely a hate crime against white people, and we'll have to see, is it actually charged as a hate crime? But, you know, this is the California that wanted to exit because the country had become so intolerant. Remember that California couldn't stand that Trump got into office. And who looks like the bigoted ones now? California is one of the most dangerous states in the entire country. I don't think they are in any place to sit on a moral high horse and tell us how bad of people we are for having voted Trump when the residents of California are doing things like stabbing people for being white. And there's been a history of politically motivated crimes in California. Not only by just like average people, but we're talking about by middle school teachers or elementary teachers. We're talking professors at universities. So, you know, California, get your shit together.